Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to wherever you are watching us in the world today. Thank you very much for tuning in for this pre-match pump up for Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur, taking place at 2 p.m. in an hour and 25 minutes time or so. With me today, I have two gentlemen from Spurs Diehards TTID. So we welcome in Chang, who's the usual, and we also welcome in Ian. I'll start with Ian. Ian, how are you, sir?
Yep. Good afternoon. Yeah, as ever, nervous with an hour and 22 minutes to go till kickoff. We're not in the greatest position we've ever been in the league. We desperately need a win. Whether we can get it at Brentford's another matter. But hopefully there's things happening as well over the next 30 hours or so between now and the end of the transfer window. We desperately need a couple of bodies in some places. No doubt we'll turn to that. But trepidation, excitement as ever. An hour and a bit before kickoff.
Chang, sir, early morning for you. How are you, sir? Oh, sorry, early evening for you. Sorry, how are you?
It's 8:40 p.m. coming to 8:40 p.m. on a Sunday night on the 2nd of February 2025. It's been a fantastic weekend for me, Senor Garcia, can't lie, with the way this new Lunar New Year has been shaping up ever since we beat Elfsborg on Thursday. And I really do hope the lads can follow that up with avoiding defeat, if at all possible, later on this afternoon against Brentford. But very positive, still staying rather grounded despite our qualification into the last 16 of the Europa League. And yeah, I really do hope Kevin Danso isn't the last incoming for this January transfer window. And hopefully we might get one or two out on loan as well if it gives them game time. I saw bits and pieces of Yan Ming Hyuk on his debut for Queen's Park Rangers. Although they lost, but he did have a good game. He had a few good attempts on goal. And I think that's the very least that we can expect from our players now that we've seen the likes of Moore, Ajayi, and also Dane Scarlett open their accounts for the senior squad. Hopefully, we might even see a bit of more later on this afternoon, but we'll just have to wait for another 5 minutes or so for the starting 11 to be announced. But other than that, absolutely can't wait for kickoff, Senor Garcia. Having said that, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Right, so we have to start with this. We all know it happened late last night. Tottenham have signed a player. It took till the 1st of February to announce it. They haven't signed him yet. He's got to have his medical and that, but it's It's a whole month of chasing people. My opinion is that Tottenham Hotspur, it's been an embarrassment that it's taken us this long to bring a player in. It's also been an embarrassment that we've actually gone for 3 players and all 3 have turned us down. To me, it stinks of poor planning and poor execution. However, we've brought a player in. How do you feel, Ian, with the signing of Kevin
Yeah.
Danson?
Like a lot of people, I don't know that much about him, but I've seen some snippets of him in action. Tall, strong, good on the ball, brings the ball forward out of defence, and he looks like a real Ange player. That's what I can say. I think that, and we've spoken about this on streams before, that one of the things that if you're critical of the club, critical of Levy, and there's plenty to criticise, there's been a complete lack of joined up thinking in the way that the club's been run. Hire a manager, give him 18 months, doesn't work, sack him. Hire another manager, give him 18 months, sack him, rinse, repeat. I know a lot of people aren't convinced by Ange, and they're entitled to that opinion. But for once, we seem to be buying players and scouting players that will fit a system and play a certain way. Now, if Ange doesn't make it, we've got players that might not suit another manager. But I quite like what I've seen. Disasi, by the way, my phone has just flashed up to say he's joining Aston Villa, so he's one that's gone. But from what I've seen, I think he will suit the system. But the proof is in the pudding. I hate it when people on social media write him off. Oh, he's only come from Lens, or he failed at Southampton when he was a 20-year-old. Let's give the boy a chance. Let's see how he does. We need bodies in. At least we've got one, and no doubt we'll talk more. But we certainly need 2, if not 3 more in, and we'll see where we go come the end of the window. But it's not been a good window. You wonder what people like, Lang and Munn and all the other people there on the football department have actually been doing basically since the 3rd of September when the last one ended. I mean, what do these people do? Do they go on holiday for 3 months? I don't know. Disappointing, but at least we've got one body in an area we need. Let's see what else we can get.
Cool. So just before I go to Chang, I've starred Belgrade Wanderer and Tottenham for Life have both predicted their lineup. So I've starred them. So when the lineups come up, we can compare the lineups to what these 2 gentlemen have done. I've got another person called Beret Getu who's also put his lineup in. So I'm going to star that as well. Chang, you did. I think you did a. Well, I know you did a short video on this channel last night with Brian Daigle about this signing. So can you, like in a nutshell, tell us what you said about this chap last night?
Yeah, so just to reiterate, I was happy to have kickstarted my Sunday morning with the news that we've finally signed an outfield player after signing Kinski about a fortnight ago, as also I think. And I mentioned on multiple occasions in the short video clip that me and Mr. Daigle recorded late last night, whereby we do hope that this isn't the last and only outfield player that we're signing this January transfer window, and that regardless of how many players have turned us down, I mean, at this moment in time, us beggars can't be choosers, given the way we have been performing of late in the league, and the way the club's been managed, just the whole turmoil inside out that's been happening with us. So I welcome any signing, and let's just give Danso sufficient time and sufficient game time as well to gel with the rest of the team. And let's just see what he brings to the club or what he brings to the team. And we really do hope that he does get as much game time as possible from between now to the end of the season if we are to properly challenge on all fronts. Having said that, back to you, Senor Garcia.
Right. So the lineup is out. So I will bring this up. I was going to finish off. No, do you know what? I'm going to finish off on the Kevin Danso thing to say that with Kevin Danso coming to the club, it is a signing that I didn't realise, but the guy is going to be homegrown. He's homegrown because he was at Southampton's academy. I'm not sure what the academy trained situation would be. It probably wouldn't count because he was academy trained at Southampton and not at Tottenham, but he's definitely homegrown. So just to add to that, and that he could be available for the Liverpool game. Right, the lineups are out. The lineups are out. I'm going to bring up the lineup now, and this is the lineup that we are going with today. Let's present it for you. So the lineups have just come out. Any surprises for you guys in the lineups?
For me, the big surprise is the absence of Van der Ven. I mean, I really do hope this is just a precaution, or rather, we are saving him for midweek against Liverpool in the second leg of the League Cup. But that centre-back pairing of Gray and Davies might be somewhat lightweight, considering we are playing away from home and that our away record hasn't been all that great. In fact, it's nothing short of disastrous, given the way how we've been just losing away on our travels. But what gives me hope is seeing Mikey Moore starting. Hopefully, I think it should be on the right or it could be on the left. It's either one of those. And yeah, great to see Kulusevski back in midfield alongside Bentancur and Bissouma. And hopefully, now that we see Spence get another start, he will be able to shore up that left back alongside Porro, his opposite number. So hopefully, we should be able to get a result here.
Ian, what do you
Yeah.
think of the lineup?
Yeah, well, the front three is the same three that started against Elfsborg on Thursday night. So Moore will undoubtedly play right. Van der Ven is not in the squad, so he's not in the bench. I hope that doesn't mean he's got another knock. I suspect that the Liverpool game is seen as the priority at this stage, and he will be in the starting lineup on Thursday night. The team is designed to score goals. I'm not sure how good it's going to be at preventing them. So I think we'll attack. I think that's a really attacking lineup. Kulusevski in midfield. Spence will no doubt roam forward, as will Porro. Maybe Bentancur and Bissouma will get instructions to hold, though, to give a proper front four of Kulusevski, Moore, Richarlison and Son, with support from the inverted fullbacks. Yeah, look, we're down to where we know we're in trouble injury wise, which is why it's disappointing we've taken so long to do so little in the transfer market. But look, we are where we are. I think that's probably the best team we can put out. I don't know who we might get back for Thursday night. We will need able bodies for Thursday. Always good to see Spence getting a game. Underutilized, really playing well whenever we play him. So I think we just have to go at it because we won't keep them out. We will not keep them out for 90 minutes. So we absolutely need to score more goals than them. It's Vindaloo football as far as I'm concerned today.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. I'm trying to see on if there's any news as to why Van der Ven's not in the squad. I've not been able to locate any at the moment. So I think the earliest we're going to hear will be when Ange probably speaks in front of the cameras, because the game is live on Sky Sports. So no doubt they're going to ask. I think the reporters will ask the question: what's happened to Mickey Van der Ven? So yeah, the lineups. I'm just going to compare the lineup. So we had the lineup we've got. We had Belgrade Wanderer said Kinski, Porro, Gray, Van der Ven, Davis. Bentancur, Sarr, Bergvall, Kulu, Son, Richarlison. So Kulu is in the side, so is Son, so is Richarlison. There's no Bergvall, there's no Sarr,
Oh no.
and there's no Van der Ven. Oh no, so I'm talking about the starting lineup. There's no Bergvall,
No.
Sarr, or Van der Ven in Belgrade Wanderers lineup. Tottenham for Life has predicted Kinski, Porro, Gray, Van der Ven, Spence. In his lineup, there is no Van der Ven. There is a Davies instead of Van der Ven. In midfield, he's gone for Sarr, Bergvall, Bentancur. There is a Bentancur, but there's no Sarr, Bergvall. And up front, he's got Kulusevski, Richarlison, Son. Sorry, Kulusevski is playing, and so is Richarlison and Son. So that's his. And Becqueret, but lineup was Kinski, Archie, VDB, Davis, Spence. Again, we know VDB's out. He's gone for Lolo, Bergvall, Kulu, Moore, Richie, Sonny. Bergvall hasn't made the lineup. All the rest seem to. So, yeah, good attempts by the people. But like Tottenham, it's hard to find what team we are going to put out. We never know because of the injuries that we've had and stuff like that. But this lineup, I'm looking at it. I did say that I sometimes feel that it doesn't matter what permutation Ange picks in the midfield. A lot of the time, it seems like the midfielders have never played with each other. So today we've got Bissouma, Bentancur, and I think it'll be Kulu in the three in midfield.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, Ian, I think we need to start seeing big games from Biss and Lolo because they've both been blown hot and cold all season. We need them to start running into consistency. What are your thoughts on the midfield?
Oh no, I mean I agree, and that's why I said maybe two of them will hold. I actually thought Bentancur played really well on Thursday night. I was at the game. I thought that was the best game I've seen him play for a little while. Albeit I am conscious that the opposition wasn't the best. He has the ability, he's an international footballer with a decent South American side. He has the ability to control games from midfield, and he doesn't show that anywhere near often enough. So I think he has. They're gonna Bissouma and Bentancur are gonna have to have big games because it's not the strongest side we can put out by a long shot. There's at least 5, maybe 6 starters that he would have gone with if the whole squad was available. But it's another chance for Mikey Moore to show what he can do. He's got that wonderful turn of pace over 5-6 yards, good feet, scored his first goal Thursday night. I'd be interested in who's on the bench. Is Bergvall on the bench, or are we just at a point where
Bergvall, sorry, I'm going to tell you the line. Sorry, I didn't say the bench. I'll read the bench out to you.
Can you?
Yeah, I will do now. Give me a second. I'm just want to get the comment out of the way so we can see the screen. Right, just find the comment.
I can read the subs out as you get the comments out. The subs are Austin, Region, Hardy, Casanova, Sar, Bergvall, Oluwesi, Ajayi, and Scarlett. So Bergvall is on the bench.
Okay. Yeah, plenty of attacking options on the bench if we need them as well. And it's good to see Anjai getting another run. Be good to get another run from Scarlett as well. Scarlett's something of an enigma. He goes to places like Ipswich and Oxford. Ipswich went last season and can't get a game, but scores goals for fun for England under 21s. And it was great to see him get on the scoreline and an assist. Scores the first, assist for the second. So he's one that can come on. I don't think Richarlison is fit to do 90 by a long stretch at the moment. I think he's played more minutes than he was designed to, from what I'm picking up from insiders that appear to know. He's meant to be doing 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes a game, and he's doing 50, 60, and let's hope he doesn't break down again. But so we might see these kids coming on and given a run. But as I say, the players that are in there, particularly the more experienced players, the Davises, the Bissoumas, the Bentancurs, have to stand up and deliver. Really do have to stand and deliver.
Chang, your thoughts on the midfield?
That midfield looks rather strong and sturdy, but I honestly think that at some point, Sar should be coming on for Bentancur, because the last time around, when we played Leicester in the league, Bentancur was found wanting, and that led to us conceding very early on in that second half against Leicester. So if Bentancur isn't able to keep his concentration for the full 90 minutes, I honestly do feel we need to switch it up and shore up that midfield. Hopefully that then affords that back four some much needed reprieve, seeing as how we really need to stop the rot however we can, by hook or crook. So that midfield should be able to get us over the line today, and I hope Kulusevski would be the one doing all the providing. But yeah, again, that midfield, I mean, we could be doing a lot better, or rather, we could have better options. But for now, we will just have to make do with Bissouma, Bentancur, and Kulusevski. And who knows, maybe Bergvall might even come on. We might even see Bergvall coming on in that second half if things aren't really going to plan. And let's just hope that no one else picks up any more niggles or injuries before our crunch second leg tie against Liverpool in the League Cup. Having said that, back to you, FA.
I mean, just to pick up on what Chang has said there, Jose. You know, I said it. I said I was worried about Solanke because of the number of games he was playing, and lo and behold, bang, he does a knee in training. And I'm now worried about Archie Gray because he's being flogged to death. You know, some of these players, you don't treat racehorses the way you treat these the players having to play in circumstances where they shouldn't. He's probably been our player of the year so far, Archie Gray, been an absolute revelation, and I just hope he can stay fit. Because he probably is desperately in need of a rest, and with the absence of bodies, he can't get one. He just can't get one.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer from this lineup, and I'm going to go to Brentford's lineup for today, so we can have a look at their lineup. And this is Brentford's lineup for today. So they've got Vladimir Marson in goal, Aya, Collins, Van der Berg as their three at the back. I think they play with three at the back. I think they've got Lewis Potter and Damsgaard as their wide wing backs, if you want to call it wing backs. They've got Norgard and Janelt in the middle of the park, and their front three are Sade, Embuemo, and Wissa. Their substitutes bench is Eyestone, Pinnock, Jensen, Carvalho, me, Yarmaluk, Konak, Maghoma, and Coyote. Anything there, Chan, for you, looking at that lineup?
Embuemo would be the threat for me. I honestly feel that he has enough in him to bully the likes of Archie Gray and Ben Davies in centre back. And if there were any aerial duels in that entire 90 minutes, my concerns are that we do not have the height in centre back to deal with Embuemo. But let's just see what Archie Gray and Ben Davies are made up of. Hopefully, we will be able to see some cover from Bissouma if he is going to be dropping deep and helping out in that defense. But otherwise, it's pretty much standard for Brentford, that lineup. And I think I did mention this, was it on, I think it was on Wednesday, on Miss Kate and Mr. Jimbo's The Perfect Match show, whereby if there was a forward player from the Premiership that I would gladly take without having to break the bank, it would be Embuemo from Brentford. For me, I think that he has what it takes to properly challenge both Richarlison and Solanke for a starting berth in that front line of ours, and he would be the player that I would be looking out for today, Cedil Garcia. Back to you, FA.
And Ian, same to you, mate, this Brentford lineup.
Can't really argue with much of that. I wish I knew exactly what their best starting lineup is, because I think there's a couple of players that are missing there. I mean, I would have played. I think would have played under Ange at Celtic. Decent player, but not a world beater. I think if he's playing on that right side of defence, Sonny, I think, would like to think he could get at him. But you got to be honest, Wemo and Wissa, they frighten me. They're good players by any standards. I mean, I think, Chang, this is a situation where there's no way in the world Brentford are going to be letting them go. I think if they were letting them go, some of the really big clubs would be in for them. There's no sign that Brentford would let them go, and why would they? I think they're now. This is a League One club that's playing with the big boys for the third season running, I think it is, with no sign of them going back down to whence they came. And players like, they need to keep hold of them, and Wemos and the Wisas, and keep doing what they do with their scouting analysis and their numbers, and identifying players that will fit into their system and that they can improve by coaching. It's a bloody well-run club, a really well-run club.
Yeah, just looking at their injuries, Josh Da Silva's out till April. They've got Rico Henry, who's out till the earliest, the 21st of February.
Yep.
Then a lot of their players that are on the injury list, Coyote, Sade, Norgard, Pinnock, have all come back because they're all in this squad. They've got Aaron Hickey is out, and he is no return date. There's no return date for Igor, who is the number 9 they bought to replace the outgoing Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
And they've got someone by the name of Gustavo Nunes Fernandez Gomez, who's also out. And I don't know who he is, but he's also out as well. I mean,
He's only out, Jose. He's only out because his name wouldn't fit on the shirt.
It's probably right. But for Tottenham Hotspurs, we currently have Dominic Solanke out, Christian Romero out, and these people don't have any return dates at the moment. Wilson Odobert is out. Sorry, the potential return date for Solanke and for Romero, it says the 22nd of February. I don't think Dominic's coming back till March, but that's what it says here. Wilson Odobert, 16th of February. And James Maddison, 9th of February. Destiny Udogie, 9th of February. Guillermo Vicario, 9th of February. Timo Werner, 9th of February. Brennan Johnson, 9th of February. And Radu Dragusin has no likely return date. So, 2 teams with some injuries. Tottenham have still got 8 injuries. I think that Brentford, although they're showing 9, 5 of them are in the squad today, either playing or on the subs bench. So their injuries seem to be getting better. Ours, we still have to wait. So, yeah, we've got no doubts here, have we, gentlemen? It's going to be a tough game today.
It's a tough game at Brentford with a full squad, let's be honest. We did well. We got drew 2-2 there last year. Probably should have won the game at the beginning of the season. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's always a tough game. They're a good opponent. They have a very good manager. I mean, if you said Thomas Frank was going to be our manager next year, a lot of people would be happy with that.
Yeah. It's just crossed my mind. I'm just putting it out there because I still don't know why Van der Ven's not in the squad. I'm yet to hear, because obviously I'm not watching Sky. We're here.
The stuff in the chat. He apparently he saw after Thursday. So I think they're just being cautious with him. I mean, I guess we can't have it both ways. There's criticism that Ange has brought players back in too early, and then their injuries have reoccurred. So I suspect they're nursing him. And although the relegation battle is not great, we're still 7 points clear. It's not a catastrophe yet, particularly if players are coming back. And we've got a run of fixtures that I think are winnable. So Yeah, I just think it's sensible, Jose. If what I'm reading on the chat is what Ange is saying pre-match, that he's just a little bit sore and they're being cautious, and giving him another few days before Liverpool makes a lot of sense.
Right, I'm just trying to find where it says here. And it's not this one. Someone's just said in the chat that Paul O'Keefe, and I can't confirm this, but someone's just said in the chat that Paul O'Keefe, right, said VDV is out for 3 weeks due to an unknown reason after the Brentford training session, and it's come from Paul O'Keefe. I can't confirm that because I'm not sure. I'm trying to look for Paul O'Keefe. Are you looking for it, Chan? Okay. Chan will find it. We'll find out because, as I said, they've not. Ange's obviously not spoken yet. But what I will say, gentlemen, and I know we're meant to be talking about today's game, but it leads me to ask a question about Thursday's game, right? And I'm going to say, for Thursday's game against Liverpool, if he's being rested for the Liverpool game, is it a risk for Tottenham, or is it just another risk for Tottenham to play Danso and VDV on Thursday against Liverpool?
Chang, do you want to start, or I will if you want.
Okay, you can start first, and I'm just trying to confirm whether Paul O'Keefe has posted anything on his social media with regards to VDV, and I'll pick up from where you leave off, Mr. Nath.
I've got it. If I cut myself off here, I'll log back in. Ange Postecoglou, this is Alistair Gold on Mickey van der Ven. Quote, just trying to manage his minutes, and we looked at it, and it's a quick turnaround. Let me just pick up on this. It's a quick turnaround. Speaking with the medical team and Mickey himself, we think we'll just keep him on ice this weekend. Continued. Sorry, give him another week of training, and then hopefully he'll be ready for the end of the week. So Paul O'Keefe sometimes spouts some crap, to be honest. That's a technical term. Sometimes he gets stuff right, but other stuff, I think he just opens his mouth and lets his belly rumble, to be honest.
Yeah. So just to confirm, Mickey van der Ven, the club have reported that they're just managing his minutes and that he they're resting him for the weekend because they're managing his minutes. So it's come from the medical team as well. So the comment that someone put in earlier saying it's come from Paul O'Keefe is fake news, but we just thought that we'd cross-check it, and we have done so.
Yeah, and just to confirm, Michael Bridge from Sky Sports News has also confirmed this on his social media. It's just a single sentence stating that Spurs are monitoring Van der Ven's minutes. No fresh injury, thankfully.
He's usually very reliable. He's usually really reliable. So I'll take what O'Keefe says with a pinch of salt.
But I'll throw my question out there again, though. Is it a risk for Tottenham to play Van der Ven and Dancer together on Thursday night? And I know Tottenham have made risks and made risky decisions in team selections this year. But does this look like another risky selection, or are we okay on Thursday?
I don't think he's eligible, Jose. My understanding is you have to be registered in time for the first game, and to play in the second. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. But my understanding is he's ineligible to play on Thursday, but he would be eligible to play next Sunday at Villa Park.
Okay, because I was seeing comments saying that if he got his permit and whatever.
Yeah,
but
but
obviously we're outside the EU now, that he was going to be eligible.
It's not about work permits. It's about Carabao Cup rules. That if you're not registered for the game for the first leg, you're not eligible to play in the second. Nothing to do with work permits or EU.
Okay, well we'll have to wait and see. But as I said, I've read that he was available for Thursday. So with that being said, we are. To bring the team, I'll bring the team line up again.
Yeah,
right. So
some in the chat saying he's eligible. I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm picking up on what I read, that he wouldn't be eligible because he wasn't eligible for the first leg. But I haven't got the rule in front of me, so.
So looking at this lineup that we've got today, and bearing in mind that your bench is Austin, Reguilon, Hardy, Casanova, Sarr, Bergvall, Oloisi, Ajayi, Scarlett, we definitely do have an academy bench. If you take out Austin and Reguilon, which, we do have an academy bench. So it reminds me of the olden days where you used to have the reserve team would play in the southeastern or the combined counties or something like that.
Yeah.
And it used to be your under 23s mostly that made that team up. Well, this team, in them leagues, you're allowed, in the under 23s, you're allowed to throw a couple of old age players in it. And it looks like our sub bench is just that, with Austin and Reguilon being the older players, but all the other players being 21 or under. Would you like to see any of... So Angie's teams normally consists of 15 players, so 16 players, so the 11 and the 5 subs. Is there any people that you're looking forward to coming on and maybe getting some more minutes from this, Ian?
Scarlett, Aloisi, if he fancies it. Anya, have I pronounced that right? The lad who scored the second goal and looked so impressive coming off the
Ajayi.
wing. Anjay, on
Ajayi.
particularly, I mean, look, if either we're chasing the game and we need some fresh legs, or we're well behind, get the players off and get some of these kids on and give them a game. This is one of those seasons where I think, we can look back. I mean, obviously, I'm presupposing we don't get relegated, and say, a lot of players got a lot more minutes than they might have got, and got a lot of experience that they weren't expecting to get, and it will put them in good stead, because these boys are all really good players. And I'd love to see Scarlett get some minutes, because we know that he can play a bit, and when he's gone out on loan, it just hasn't happened for him. So maybe he just needs to be here and get some minutes, even get a few goals. And it's sort of like a new signing, if we can get that, because I'm not convinced about Richarlison in the long term, and I'm even less convinced he can stay fit for the rest of the season. So a fit Scarlett, particularly, would be an absolute boost.
Okay. And Chang, for you, any of these boys from the bench that you want to see that can help us out today?
The only players that I can see realistically affecting any sort of change, or even trying to affect proceedings if they were to be brought on, are probably only Sar and Bergvall. No offense to the likes of Ajayi, Scarlett, Oluwaseyi, or Hardy, but Brentford away is no easy ground, and we should be capable of avoiding defeat. But if we were to have to rely on any of our subs players to be the difference maker and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, then probably Sar and Bergvall will be the only ones that I would realistically call upon, apart from maybe Reguilon at left back, if we feel that either one, or Spence or Porro, needs to be replaced if they are getting a lot of joy going down the flanks and trying to attack us out wide. But if we do find ourselves in a commanding position, and that may be, as ridiculous as that may sound, it is a possibility that we could see the likes of Scarlett and Ajayi picking up from where they left off on Thursday night. And I think that's about it, honestly, because that's not much for us to have to pick from that subs bench. I honestly doubt it. We will see the likes of Hardy or Casanova or even Oluwaseyi this afternoon. But let's just wait and see how that first half pans out. And you never know. After an hour, if we do find ourselves, as I mentioned earlier, in the league, we could very well see a lot more substitutions, because we need a lot of these players fresh and ready for midweek against Liverpool at Anfield. So fingers crossed, we will see some good substitutions made by Big Ange, and this is where he needs to earn his keep and be smart about our player management. Having said that, back to you, FA.
So just before we carry on and we go to what we do for people's predictions. I'm just going to throw it out there. So for me, another player that can affect change for us on the bench is probably Reguilon, because he's the only proven player that's defensive minded that we could bring on. So today's the 2nd of February. We know there's what is there? There's 24 plus 7. It's about 31 hours and so left of the window. Reguilon is still with us on the subs bench today. Will Reguilon be with us beyond tomorrow, or do we really now need Reguilon to stay? Because Reguilon's wanted to leave, hasn't he, because of the minutes and the game time. But with the predicament that we're in, will Reguilon still be with us beyond deadline day, do you think, or is he going to be going?
If you're asking me,
Yeah.
Whichever one of you.
You start, Chang.
Okay, very quickly. So Reguilon, I would love to see him see out the rest of the season, because the few cameos that he's common for us, he looks really fired up. And to be honest, he looked a lot more enthusiastic and up for it compared to some of our starting players in the few games that he has common for us. So for me, having someone like Reguilon, who's been with us since the Mourinho days, it's not the worst possible option to have him. And yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, with regards to our Kevin Danso signing, us beggars can't be choosers. So whoever we can call upon to remain faithful and committed to the club and Big Angel's philosophy, I would love them to prove us wrong, as well as his doctors. Back to you, Mr. Meth.
Thanks, Chang. I mean, he can only be allowed to leave if we've got a better replacement coming in, and there's been no indication that there's another player coming in on that side. That said, some of our best signings, like last night, like Kinski, have been completely under the radar. All of a sudden, there's not even a rumor, and bang, another a player signed. So maybe they've got somebody. I mean, I'll throw a name out there. Crystal Palace signed a new left back on I think Thursday. I like Mitchell of Crystal Palace. He's got 6 months on his contract. That would be a real Spurs signing, and I think he'd play the inverted role well. And that would give us a more depth than we've got. And in which case, then Reguilon could be allowed to leave if he wants and we want, but without a replacement, absolutely no way can he be allowed to leave. We're short enough of left-sided players.
Yeah, it's just for me, like I said, Reguilon has been marginalised and he's been left out by so many managers, and then we find ourselves in the predicament that we're in, and all the injuries that we've had, where Reguilon's actually had some game time, not as much as Spence, but he's had some game time. And I'm just looking at the bench and I'm thinking to myself, a dog is still out at the moment, although he's due to come back in the next few weeks. And I'm just thinking to myself, if someone comes in for Reguilon, or Reguilon can get himself a move, because he was told before the start of the window that he could go. So, and Tottenham, obviously his contract thing runs out in the summer. So if you're going to get anything for him, even if it's a loan fee, it'll be now before the summer. But I'm just thinking to myself, the needs are probably greater for him needing to stay for cover rather than just letting him go out. I mean, and that's why I threw it out there to see where you guys stood on it. So to me, it's an interesting one, whether he's with us after 11 o'clock tomorrow night or not. I just think it's one to watch. It'll be interesting. It will tell us what the thinking is.
Yeah, I still think we're going to be very busy. I think that Mr. Levy got a real fright with the volume and the veracity of the we want Levy out chants against Leicester in particular. They were pretty loud on Thursday as well. So I suspect he's absolutely knows that he's got to deliver something for the fans. I suspect there's other things afoot with ownership and what have you, with just some of the things that are going on. But I still expect us to be really busy. I'm not quite sure who would come in. I mean, talk about Moani, by the way. And I know that people are disappointed that Tamori, Moani, and who was the other one that turned us down? Tell turned us down. But none of them have turned them. We want permanent deals. We're not looking. We're looking at deals where people can come in and play the system. And none of those players wanted to come to us on a permanent basis. Now, you say, moving to Juve is a better move than coming to Tottenham, maybe. And Moani, I gather, scored twice this afternoon. But Spurs only wanted a permanent deal, and he only wanted a temporary deal. And that might be the same with Tell as well. So it's unfortunate, but as I say, Andrew's on record as saying I'm not here with Tell. I'm not here to strengthen Bayern by coaching a player for 6 months and having go back and be improved there. So let's at least see what happens in that next 30 hours. But I do expect that there'll certainly be some incomings. I don't know how many outgoings, but I certainly expect at least 2 incomings. But let's see. I've been disappointed by this club before.
Right, so what I'm going to do is we come to that show. We've got about eight or so minutes until we wrap up. So we'll come to that part of the show where we ask everyone in the chat. Before I ask you two guys, I'm going to ask everyone in the chat what you think your score predictions are for today, please, chat. And we can see where we feel that the fan base is at with today's game. So, yeah, chat, let us know what you think the scores will be. And as they come through, I will call them out. Yido has said 1-3 Tottenham, Kulu, Richie and Son. The Chelsea Spurs says 2-2. Al Jennings says 2-1 to Brentford. Z says 3-0. Karuna Cigar says 1-3 to Tottenham. Ben Johnson says 2-0 to Spurs. Year 20 says 3-0 Tottenham. Cantab says 2-2. Rooty Toot says big up all 2-2, but hope it's 2-3 with a Jai scoring a scissor at the end. Excel says, yo, Jose, know me. Hi, Excel. How are you? Then I've got coming in. We have Caleb Idan says 3-1 to Spurs. Dragon D's Nuts, DDN. How are you, mate? Says 1-5. Bradley's J33 says 3-2 win, but hanging on in the end. Yogi Bear says 2-3 with more Richie and Scarlet goals. Gary Wells says 4-1 to Spurs. Lee Harding says 0-9. Come on, you Spurs. Reece Price can also see 9 goals, but Reece Price has gone 5-4 to Spurs. TKM says 4-2 to Tottenham with 4-2 and Tottenham more brace. Patrick says we lose, sad to say, 3-1. Bobby K, good morning to you, Bobby, says 2-1 to Spurs. Gozy says must win 3-1 Spurs Coys. EZ says 3-2 to Tottenham. It will be 3-0 at half time. Machiavellian Lecture says 2-4 to Spurs, more on the score sheet. Salty Duck says 2-4. Decky's got to get 2, Bergval and more. Ordere Esfacere is 1-1. Gareth Hodgson 4-3 for Spurs. John C 2-1 for Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs. It would be so Tottenham to lose to Leicester than beat Brentford away 2-0 to Spurs from Will B. Oscar Peters 3-1 Spurs win. Where am I? These people flying them through, so I'm trying to catch them. I was on Oscar Peters. Where am I now? Let me go back down and have a look. I've got Salty Ducks. Gemini 4-1 to Spurs. Stuart Wheeler 3-1 to Spurs. Beneket Getu 3-1 with a Mickey brace. Or Mikey brace. Could be both. Ansball says, big up Jose lads and the chat. Come on, you Spurs. Raz Hazel 2-1 to Brentford. Stephen Lynn says VAR 2-0 to Spurs. God, these are all jumping everywhere. Ruzi says 3-0, Kingsky hat-trick. Lee Moody, Spurs for the Bees 2. Nippo Hurd says 4-2 to Tottenham. Richard Taylor says 3-2 to Brentford. Right, they're just some of them to come in that are coming in. So what I'm going to say to you guys is, you've heard a lot of the chat on what they feel the scoreline is. I'll go to you, Chang, first. What's your scoreline, your prediction? And if you want to add goal scorers, you can do. What's it for you today?
I am sticking to my 2-1 away win prediction for Spurs this afternoon, as I made this prediction on Wednesday over on the perfect match. And I'm also sticking with my predicted goal scorers, whom I'm glad are starting today. They would be Richarlison and Sonny. For me, honestly, I couldn't care less where the goals come from, just so long as we score, because we've not been able to score that many away on our travels. So any goals from anyone in any given department would be a welcome relief, given how our forwards haven't been truly been able to get the job done. But let's just hope Richarlison himself is able to pick up from where he left off and just prove Big Ange wrong for hauling him off against Leicester, because I was so glad for him to get 2-2, Richarlison, against Everton and Leicester. Let's hope it will be 3-3 in the league for us. Captain Fantastic Sonny to get us that second goal and hopefully the 3 points as well. Back to you, Senor Garcia.
Before I come to you, Ian, I've just put your link up for you and Chang, Spurs Diehards. So people, please go and support Ian and Chang at Spurs Diehards. They've just hit a milestone in the early hours of this morning while I did my members show. We managed to get them to their milestone. And like I say, everyone tries hard in this community to provide content for the viewers. And at the end of the day, please support these channels. It's a great help, and it means the world to these people. One thing is, the one commonality that we all have as channel and content creators is that we all love Tottenham Hotspur. So please show some love and go over to Ian and Chang and subscribe to them at Spurs Diehards TTID. Just going to say a few more scores before I'm going to come to you, so we can get a flavour of what some other people have said. Waldrog says 3-2 to Tottenham with Richie, Son and Gray. Smoked _5L says Tottenham 3, Brentford 2. Watch a Lot says Brentford to beat Spurs 8-0. Toothy Drake says 3-1 to Tottenham. Persian Hotspur says 7-0 to Brentford. Adam Paul Galitska says 3-1 to Spurs. Richie 2 and Kulu. Then I've got Dr. Den Does says, I hate to say it, but I think we are going to lose this one big time. I'm hoping I'm wrong. 3-0. Karizu Nika says Tottenham 2, Brentford 1. Here we go. Sorry, Mud FC says 3-1 to Spurs. Andrew Awino says 2-1 to Spurs. Cody 4-1 to Spurs. 2 goals for Richie and 2 for Scarlett. Hippo Nerd says 4-2 to Tottenham with Richie with a hat-trick. Samuel Sorty says 3-0 to Spurs. Benjamin Cohen says 1-1, mark my words. And Nashon Guia says 3-1 Spurs. Ian, where are you?
Where am I? I'm sitting in my mum's lounge at the moment. Yeah, you asked for that. Just thank you very much for the plug on our show, by the way. Guys, be great if you would sub. Just for your diaries, a week on Monday, 8 p.m, Monday the 17th, I've managed to secure an interview with Kieran Maguire, the football finance expert, author, journalist, academic. That should be a really interesting show, and particularly talking about the ownership issues and the ability of fans to change the ownership and how much Tottenham might be worth and who might come in to buy us. So 8 p.m. Spurs Diehards next Monday the 17th. In your competition, Jose, I predicted 2-1 to Tottenham. I will stick with that. That's with my heart, not with my head. I suspect there might be more goals. I suspect we'll do well to only concede one. But I think our team isn't designed to keep goals out. So we need to go forward and attack them and score. So maybe more, but I'll stick with the 2-1 that I put in your competition, albeit I was running 5th of 116. I think I'm dropping like a stone, a bit like Tottenham at the moment.
Fair enough. So 2-1 for you. Chang, you said 2-1 as well. Guys, I've put the channel links in the comments because you're asking me. So I've put them in the comments. I'm also going to put mine in there.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to say to you guys is that for me, I also went for 2-1 in my prediction show on Friday. But that was with, in my mind, we had Kingsley coming back. We could have selected Reguilon and Spence. We had more midfielders coming back. So we had 5 to choose from this game. And I also believed that Van der Ven would be back. And for me, Van der Ven on Thursday night, regardless of the opposition, Van der Ven, we didn't play high lines. Van der Ven didn't have to use his speed. Van der Ven just looks like a Rolls Royce of a defender. He's so clean in everything he does. And for me, if you've got Mickey Van der Ven in your side, it's going to give everybody that boost. And I felt more confident in my thoughts on Friday than today. Today, now losing Mickey Van der Ven, it takes that bit away from me. But I'm still going to stick with it. I'm still going to say Tottenham to win 2-1. I'll never, ever back against my team. I've been a fan and a supporter for over 50 years. And always, for me, it's always about us winning. And yes, we've had some dark times this year, but I'm just hoping that we go away today and we put in a performance, first and foremost, that we put in a performance and we don't get any more injuries. So the last thing we want is any more injuries. We've got a busy period of games coming up. We've got players coming back. I'm just hoping, beyond hope, that we just don't get any more injuries. So for me, it's 2-1. The channel links I've put into the chat. There's mine as well, Eltel Cocker, if you'd like to come over and subscribe. What I will say and finish it off is that we do appreciate all your support that you give to this channel. We are Tottenham TV. And if possible, can you give a thumbs up for the stream itself? Straight after us, there is a watch along on this channel. So please go over and support the watch along. And just making sure, Van der Ven is just people confirming he's been rested. So look, at the end of the day, like I said, thank you very much for everyone for watching. And as always, we're going to say, come on.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Take care, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend. Have a fantastic day today. Let's get the 3 points, lads. Take care.